So I know to some people it probably sounds like a joke, and it's a meme going around the internet right now. You will eat the bugs. You will own nothing and you will be happy. And people hear these outlandish things that sound like they can't possibly be real, and they dismiss them. I think that's part of our conditioning here in the West. You know, we've seen all these movies with supervillains and you know, James Bond movies and different things like this, you know, whether that be Mission Impossible, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. There's always some supervillain behind the scenes that, you know, the ultimate boss that you have to get to. You have to fight your way to stop the evil that's going on in that movie, right? This time there's a lot more than just one guy. There's a whole bunch of guys. There's Klaus Schwab and his whole band of globalists, you know, his minions that are down there at Davos, or they just finished up Davos right now, but that's part of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and they are part of the UN Agenda 21 2030, the plan to enslave humanity. And so when these people speak, I pay attention to what they're saying. And for a long time now, Klaus Schwab has been openly saying, you will own nothing and you will be happy and you will eat the bugs. That's what he says, straight from his mouth. You will eat the bugs. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy on about? And I go and I research it, and it turns out you will eat the bugs. Major brands quietly slipping insects into your food. Major companies are quietly adding insects to their food products, implementing a goal established by the World Economic Forum that seeks to have humans eat bugs as one of its purported keys to a sustainable planet. So they're making you eat the bugs for your own good, so you can save Mother Gaia. They are like a cult. These climate people, they're like a cult. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do things, you know, like put less plastic in the ocean and, you know, try to be more responsible, don't litter, those kinds of things. Sure, that would be great to teach that sort of stuff to all of humanity. The problem is when you're forcing people to eat bugs in the name of sustainability, now we're stepping on liberties. So the snack item from Canadian brand Actually Foods states that the puffs are also powered by crickets to the tune of 10 grams of protein per serving. The ingredients label on the back of the bag indicates organic cricket flour was used in the puffs production, and an allergy warning on the back of the bag also cautions people who are allergic to shellfish may also be allergic to crickets. So, I mean, isn't that lovely? It's organic cricket flour. So the next thing you know, it'll be free-range organic cricket flour will be the only thing that I'll eat, because, you know, I can't just eat the organic cricket flour. I got to have the free-range organic cricket flour. They're going to put every buzzword they can in front of this stuff to diminish the fact that you're eating crickets. Further investigation into Actually Foods' parent company, Entomo Farms, shows it's on a mission to make cricket-based foods the first choice for individuals interested in high-quality, sustainable protein. And they actually produce whole roasted crickets in a variety of flavors, in addition to cricket protein powder. I mean, so if you wanted to have like a cricket protein powder drink in the morning for energy boost instead of coffee, because, you know, coffee's probably bad too. I mean, these people have lost their freaking minds if they think that anybody in America is going to do this. But see, the thing is, they're not coming after me and you. Oh no, they know they can't get us. They're coming after the kids. You will eat the bugs. Children force-fed insects as WEF agenda in full force in the Netherlands. So what's this? It's already happening, you say? Schools pushing kids to eat bugs in the Netherlands. Schools in the Netherlands are introducing kids to eating bugs as part of the World Economic Forum agenda, pushing insects as food. The school program was described as social conditioning by bringing behavioral changes in children they believe are too young to have prejudice against eating insects. So I want you to catch that. I want to read through that again, because that's really important. What they're basically saying in summary, is they're indoctrinating your kids to think differently than you do. So they're going against your parental guidance and stuff like this. And they're going, let me just read it again. The program was described as social conditioning by bringing behavioral changes in children they believe are too young to have prejudice against eating insects. They are targeting young children and going to force them to eat insects because they don't have any prejudices against it. Unbelievable. They're stating their goals right here in the open. They're going to indoctrinate. That's the entire New World Order agenda. It's never been about us older people that have been raised in liberty and freedom and stuff. It's about indoctrinating the next generation to not care about liberty, to not care about freedom, to not care about eating good, healthy, meat that you've grown in your backyard. They don't want that. They want you to eat the bugs. WEF agenda in full force. Hundreds of schools in the Netherlands have started a campaign introducing 10 to 12-year-old kids to mealworms and insects as a sustainable meat substitute. The goal is to bring about behavioral changes through unprejudiced children. Unfreaking believable. This, if you don't believe me, these people are super villains. They're force-feeding children in the Netherlands mealworms and bugs and stuff like that. I mean, can you imagine? We thought the cafeteria food was bad enough when I was a kid, but I can't imagine wondering if that, does this have 20% cricket juice in it or something? I mean, am I eating a June bug here? What am I eating? This next article actually makes some sense. It says, don't eat the bugs. Making you eat the bugs satisfies the liturgical dimension of liberalism, the shattering of long-held taboos and prejudices. Yes, that is exactly right. For many, many years, if you look at the main things that the liberals have a problem with, it's traditionalism. It's like marriage, being between a man and a woman, stuff like that. There's only two sexes, right? I mean, things like that. And now they have, 47, 52 genders and all this stuff. They're trying to confuse children all around the country. They're targeting our children. So every few months, I'm sure you've seen them, a major news site runs a piece telling you to eat the bugs. The headlines are almost always the same. Insects are the food source of the future, experts say. Want to save the planet? Eating bugs may be part of the solution. It's good for the earth. Why climate scientists urge Americans to eat more bugs, and so on. The articles usually cite the climate change as the main reason to upend the American diet, which for now is heavy on beef and light on cicadas. And that's the way I plan to keep it. I like brisket, I like bacon, I like spare ribs, I like all kinds of stuff, pork chops, I like a big old hamburger with bacon on top of it. I mean, you're not replacing my bacon strips with cricket strips. No thanks. So there are some other reasons that the Times might want to move away from traditional agriculture. The bug farmers shown in the video are soft-faced, vest-wearing men with college degrees and uncalloused hands. They look like compliant Democrat voters. The average cattle rancher, he can't explain the difference between gender and sex. I mean, just like I did just a few minutes ago. The insect farms are large buildings in the heart of urban metros and are seated in progressive territories rather than rural American farms. So there you go. Seems like I heard something about that before. Like, he who controls the food controls the people. Check this out. This is a headline from yesterday. Insects on the menu as EU approves 2 more for human consumption. Swapping steaks for crickets can cut greenhouse gas pollution and slow species extinction, so they say. But persuading people to eat them will be tricky. Yeah, you're right, because I'm not eating the bugs. The maggot-like larvae of the lesser mealworms, and that's a type of shiny black beetle, and house crickets will soon become the 3rd and 4th insects that can be sold as food. On Tuesday, the EU gave the green light to the sale of the larvae in powder, frozen, paste, and dried forms. The crickets can be sold as partially defatted powder. So, I mean, doesn't that sound delicious? Powder, frozen, paste, and dried forms of bugs. I mean, so the question is, are you going to eat the worms? Because it's coming. They do this stuff as a test run, like during the whole COVID clampdown, lockdown the COVID 1984 tyranny. Remember what Australia did? Australia was ground zero for the tyrants to go ahead and put full control on everything. Trampling on people's rights. Trampling on people's ability to feed themselves now. I mean, this is just unbelievable. In my world, chickens eat bugs, and I eat chickens. I don't eat bugs. I mean, if I was in a survival situation and I hadn't eaten anything in like 7 days or something, and somebody pulled out some crickets and were like, hey, you're going to starve to death if you don't eat these crickets and cicadas and stuff. Yes, in a survival situation, I would do such, those sorts of things, or maybe an earthworm or something like that. But I wouldn't be trying to market it to the masses like this. This is a great concern. I did a report recently on the synthetic meat, the rise of synthetic meat that's going on. They were building one of the largest facilities in the whole world out in like North Carolina to create synthetic meat. They figured out how to make meat, grow in a petri dish, and they claim it tastes just like a steak and it's going to be good. No, I don't want fake meat. It's already here. So once they combine some cricket powder, some whole organically raised, farm pasture raised cricket flour to the mix, and they call it something else. That's the other thing. I don't have it written down here, but I remember doing another report in the past. They have a name for this cricket flour, and they don't call it cricket flour. So you need to start paying attention to what the ingredients say and knowing what these things are on the back of your processed foods to start with. But it will be coming soon in everything. I can't remember if that was Rockefeller or who that was that said that. But someone said, he who controls the food controls the people. And that's what we got going on, a takeover of the way it has always been, American farmers and European farmers taking care of the world. We're intentionally being hogtied. The American people don't seem to have the stomach for fighting back anymore. They're all just so complacent and drunk on comfort that they're not willing to do anything to upset the New World Order. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people like us standing up and demanding that the people that represent us, our congressmen, especially on a state level, but also on a national level, do not allow this garbage to infect our kids' minds. This is insanity. I mean, I won't be a bit surprised when they come out and say the next thing is Soylent Green. I mean, Soylent Green is coming. So do what you want with that. I appreciate you tuning in, guys. As always, I stand for liberty. I hope you do too.